Good day. So for today's tutorial, I will teach you about web data scraping. So what is web data scraping? So web data scraping is a technique used to extract data from websites. This process involves programmatically accessing the web pages and pulling out or extracting information that you need. It can be used to gather data from websites that do not provide an application program interface or an API. So it has several key aspects. Number one, sending requests. The first step is to send a request to the web server hosting the website from which data is to be scraped. This request is typically done using HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Second step is to receive a specific response. So the response that we will receive often in HTML format, but it can also be received in formats like JSON and XML. So the third step is parsing data. Once we receive the parsed data, usually again in HTML form, so we will use libraries such as Beautiful Soup in Python in order to easily navigate the structure of the HTML for extraction. And the last step is the extracted data already. So we will extract something like an e-commerce site or an e-commerce products with a specific price, stock prices, sports statistics, or any other information available on the web. So let's continue. So first, we need to import some library in order for this to work. First, I will import pandas as PD. You know, pandas is for data manipulation and data wrangling. So for NumPy is for numerical operations. So the request is necessary here because we will provide a specific request to the NBA ESPN website. So we will scrape this data for this exercise. So we also use Seaborn and Matplotlib for data visualization. And of course, the Beautiful Soup version 4. And for this notebook, we will suppress the warnings. So it's okay to suppress the warnings as not to provide a, a critical levels of error. If the error is not that critical enough, so the code will still continue. So we will suppress the warning. So let me import this one and let's start coding. So if you want to follow along with me, so watch the video and code with me line by line. So the first, we need a specific URL. So our URL will be this one because we will scrape this again, this specific data. So you copy this one. So that will be our URL. The second step is to send the request, but we need specific headers for this. So I will copy paste the existing code. This part is very long. So we need a user agent in order to simulate that a website or a web browser is trying to access this specific link. So that will be the header. So the next step after the header is we need a specific response. So let's see, response. So we will use the response is equivalent to our request, which is the imported request from above, this one. And we're requesting specific URL, which is this URL again, and the specific header. So let's see, headers equals headers. So let's make this plural because there are many um, user agent here. These are the code for each web browser. So after that, we have the response. We will create beautiful soup, let's say a BS4 object to parse the HTML content. So soup variable is equivalent to, so beautiful soup, the response, including its content that will be parsed as an HTML dot parser. So what is returned, we will interpret this one as an HTML parser. Then the next code are very crucial. So find the table containing themes. So I've already studied the structure of this one, but for this tutorial, I will show you. So why the code that we will enter here is the specific code to make this work. So the theme name, if you inspect the browser, can be found inside a table class body. So this one. So this will be our anchor point for the theme name. So to use this one, we can say we have a variable of table underscore themes is equivalent to soup dot. We only select specifically one t body with the class of table body. So specifically, we will use this one as an anchor point for the theme. So I can find the theme names inside this table. Then the next one is we find the table with the stats. So again, if we inspect this one, so we'll find the table for of this one. Spec. So we can find it in TBL scroller, and also if we inspect this again under TBL scroller here, we are not interested in the specific header. So T head is not to be included, but T body here. So in order to code this one, we now have the table for the stats will be under soup dot select under the div with a class of table scroller and under the T body with a class of T body, and we only need the first instance. For sure, there are many instances of this combination of div.table scroller and tbody.table body inside the HTML, but we are only interested in the first instance. So the next one, in order to reconstruct this one inside this notebook, we need to define specific column names. So for this one, I will define an empty list so that uh, what we have extracted will be stored in this theme. Then, of course, we have column names. So the column names, since we are not extracting the column names, so we will define this one. We will define this one, but I have already defined this one. So it's the same. So from winning percentage to last 10 opponents. So I'll just copy this one. So the column names will be this one. So from wins, losses, the L will now become labeled losses. Win PCT is the PCT, and so on and so forth. So that will be our column names. The next one will be initialize an empty dictionary to store the data. So our statistical data will be stored here while the team name will be stored here. But we will use a dictionary in order to construct this one. So under the dictionary, we have a key of column Then we need to loop this one in our device column names. So what we find here, for example, from 64 to 73 will be stored in this header. So this column names, then we have to loop through elements containing the theme. So for themes, so we are now ready to extract the theme name from the specific tables in the web page. So table names dot, we will use the method find all. So every span, let me explain this one, that has a class that is equal to hide mobile. So we're trying to loop this. So from all table names, or I mean table themes that we can find. So let me inspect this one and explain. So under the table T body, we have a span with the class of hide mobile. So this one. Under table themes, which is this one, T body, we need to find all span element that has a class of hide mobile. So we will look through that and we will append what we have found in each one. Then we will strip the text. So it means that if I have found, for example, Boston Celtics inside the span hide mobile, I will just get the Boston Celtics text here. Okay. So to test this one, so let me see. So team. So if I run this one, so we have also we have an error here. So we have a URL. So let us check this first. So module object is not callable. So we have a specific header. So let's see. Let's debug this one. So we have specific headers. So request get. So we have specific URL. So we have specific header. Okay. So we're missing one go. We need to get the URL first and the specific header that we would like to send. So if we run this one, okay. So these are the themes that we are scraping from this website. So these are the themes that we are scraping from this website. Okay. So problem solved. That's number one. So how about we scrape the data for each theme? So I think we need to loop through elements containing the specific data. So for example, for element in table. So this is the table. So our table will be the T scroller with the table body, only the first instance, which means a text 0. So that table, then we find all instances of TR. So if we inspect this once again, so we have specific TR and we have specific span. So TR, TD. So after finding the TR, so we need each columns or calls that the elements that we could also find inside the TD. Then we will look each index and the column name and enumerate each column names. So we will enumerate each column names. I represent the index. This is index 0. And the column name, which is call name, will be from wins up to L10. So how can we construct this data. Remember, we have a dictionary of data here. So we'll just use this one as a guide. So for our data, we have the call name. We iterate each call name. Then we need to append its specific columns that we find on the TD, is specific index. If it's index 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we will also use the text strip dot property in order to find the specific statistics of the team. So this column strip. So let's see if I declare here data. So the result, this is a loop. I need a colon. So the specific data can be extracted. So for example, so you can see wins 64, 57, 57, 56. So wins 64, 57, 57, 56. So we're already scraping the team. If I'm not mistaken, we're already extracting the team, and at the same time, we are already extracting each specific data assigned to the team. Okay, so let's see this one. Losses 18, 25, 25, 26. Losses 18, 25, 25, then 26. So we're scraping already the data. So the next step is to reconstruct it into a data frame. So create a data frame based on extracted data from the ESPN NBA website. So we declare DF as a data frame, but first, specifically, we will need to extract it, the specific team only, equals PD dot data frame. So we have team, of course, we have team, the variable, and the column will be name as a team. Then for the data itself of each team, so PD data frame, so we construct the specific data. So if I say DF team, so this will be the result. I think we have error here. So DF team data frame. I think this has an S. So that's column. So these are the teams. So 30 teams from index 0 to 29 is 30 teams. NBA has 30 teams. Then we have DF data, of course. So this one is the data. So 6418.78, 6418.78, games behind, none, because they are the number one team for this season. So home, 37-4, then away, 27-14. So we are extracting this data. Any changes that will be made if the season is ongoing, but it's not ongoing already. We have the NBA finals. So any changes that's going to happen here will reflect on here. So that is the value of web scraping. So if we scrape this data, we can visualize it. We can even analyze this one if you want to bet on sports betting, but I'm not encouraging gambling. But you can use this one, process it in a data analytics algorithm or prediction model, then you can use this one. But I'm not recommending it. Disclaimer: I'm not teaching gambling here. Please use it responsibly. What you are what you are learning here. So now that we have, but remember we have two separate data frame. So what we need to do is to concatenate them. So we created already the data frame, which is df team and df data. Now we need to concatenate each data frame that we created. So it's very easy. So df equals pandas, we will use the concat and we will concatenate the df team and the df data on axis equals 0. I mean 1 because we're concatenating in terms of column. So this will be the result. So we have the team now, Boston Celtics, 64-73. Boston Celtics, 64-73. So now we are extracting this specific data already. Okay. So we will not stop from here as we will process more the data because if you want data, some form of analysis from here, this cannot be understood by any, for example, any algorithm because this 37.4 means this is a string. So what we'd like to do is to separate the 37 wins and the 4 losses. So this data is okay. This data is okay, okay. So this data is not okay in terms of processing because this is a string. This is not okay too. Then this is not okay too because this is win too, but it cannot be processed by mathematical operation. So what we need to do is to clean the specific data. So let us first do this one so that the notebook is not crowded. So df head, the first 5 element only. Okay. So let us process the data. So data pre-processing because I'm interested in visualizing this one. So I will define a function name with split with delimiter. It will accept specific data and delimiter. Okay. So our delimiter here is the hyphen. Then for the index by default, we will have specific to 0. Okay. Then we will return what is the data passed and we will split based on delimiter. This is a string manipulation already. Then what is the specific index that you would like? So for example, if we are trying to clean this data, let me give you an example. So clean data. For example, we have df, I think home wins. Okay, we have home wins. So we will extract this one. So for example, I will create a new column inside the data frame based from the data of df home. So I think we have df home, this one, 37 and 4. We will split that into 2 columns. Then we will apply our function, which is split with delimiter. Then we have the arguments. Our delimiter is a hyphen and index 0. So what will be the result of this one? So for example, if I have a df here, so split with the delimiter, I think I got an error here. So we need to, let me see. So what will be the error? So split with delimiter. Okay, maybe the spelling. Okay, let's see. Names. I'm not executing this code. I'm sorry. Okay. So as you can see, we have home wins. So the home wins is based on this one. So if I'm not mistaken, this will become 37 and 4. So our delimiter is hyphen. So the 37 is the index 0 and the 4 is the index 1. So if I change this one, so what we are extracting are the losses. If I'm not mistaken, this one. I'll, I will make this a comment. Okay. So this is the home loss. So I would just repeat the function in order to separate such values. If I have DF wins, then I will say I have home loss. Then I have, for example, extract from home, but I need index 1. Then I will show you the DF, of course. So we have home wins of 37 and we have a home loss of 4. Okay. So that's the way to split the specific data. So we will do this again multiple times. So let's copy this one. How about road wins, which is from away. So this one is 0. So let me copy this one. So road wins away, but index 1. Then we have also L10 wins. So based on our column L10. So let's copy this. Copy, paste, and loss. So L10. So this one is index 1. We can also do this one for the uh, streak, but with a different approach. So we have a streak. We create another column of streak based on strk, but we will replace, instead of delimiter, I will replace the W with a blank and the loss with a blank also. So it's easy to do that in Python. You use str, replace W with blank. So copy this one. So the streak. So replace L with negative. So if the streak is a losing streak, it has a negative sign. Okay. So the last one is we use the differential because this has a positive number. I would like to remove this one. So differential is equivalent to df dot str dot replace the positive number will be replaced by none. Okay. So if we see the data frame again, so we are creating columns, but we will remove the duplicate ones. So in order to do that, let us remove the games behind. I will not use the games behind. Already the home, we need to also remove the away, the diff, and the strk. We need to drop that. So df is equivalent to df dot drop based on the list of remove in terms of axis 0. We will need to drop each specific column. So df dot head if you want to see what is the result. So this is our df head. So I think this is much more cleaner than the previous data. Okay. So I think I need to remove also the uh, if you're not interested with division record also, and if you're not interested in conference, okay, then also I can remove already based on the data frame, the L10. It depends on your usage, but I will remove this one and run this again. So this is our data. So the streak, it has W. So I need to remove that one. So our streak, replace W. Okay. So I need to remove this instead of L. So if L, this is replaced with this one. If this is a streak, okay, based on the streak. Okay, let's restart and run this again because this is not clean. We have still W. It should be not. Okay, so let me check this first. So maybe there's an error here. We're replacing already here the W. So if we replace the W already here, so I think this will be the streak also because we already replacing this one. So the streak will rely specifically on the streak because we change it. So let's run this again. Yes. So this will be the streak. So we remove the W and replace it with a blank. Okay. So these are all now numbers. So if that is already numbers, so we can uh, compute some statistics based on existing data. So for example, how about we compute the winning percentages? So for example, computed columns. So I will define a function for that. So compute PCTS, the winning percentage, will provide the wins and the losses. So the wins is equivalent to wins dot, to make sure that this is numerical, we say wins dot as type as float, and the losses is equivalent to losses dot as type, which is also float. So to compute for the percentage, so we want to round the wins over the sum of the wins plus losses in 3 decimal places and return the winning percentage. So if you want to add more data to your existing data frame, we can say that home wins. So we're creating another column here. Home wins percentage is equivalent to compute PCTs based on the data frame of home wins. Okay, this is the wins as type, which is float, versus the home loss, if that is the label. So let's see. So this is home wins, this is home loss, this is home win, this is home loss. Okay, then we will replicate this one twice for the road wins and also for the L10 wins percentage. So this will be road wins and this will be L10 wins against the road loss and against the L10 loss. Okay, so let's do this one. So we have an error here. So we have, let's see, road loss. We have list like key. Okay, so this TF. So let's see for the road loss. So road wins, home loss. Ah, we don't have a road loss. Okay, so L10 wins. I think we don't have a road loss here. So this is L10 wins. So this is L10 loss. Oh, okay. So this one, we have an error here. So this will be road loss because both are road wins. So let's see. So if I show you the state of the data frame, so this will be the state of the data frame. So we have road wins, home loss, road loss, last 10, then the specific streak. Then we have also the home percentage winning, which is 64-18, road wins percentage. Okay, and the what is this one? The last 10. Yes, this is 70%. So 10 out of, or 7 out of 10. So this one is correct. Okay. So the next step is maybe we change the column order for this one. So let's see, column order. We will just rearrange the specific data frame. So in the interest of time, I have already done that. So the column order, the new arrangement will be this. And our final data frame is equivalent to our data frame is specifically for the column order. So final data frame for column order. So we'll just arrange. So team, win, losses up to the winning streak if positive and losing streak if negative. So that will be the final DF. Since this is all numbers already, so we can do mathematical operations over them. Before we cannot because of this kind of scenario. This is text with numbers. So Python will interpret this as text, not as numbers or string. Okay. So this is our final DF. So we can use um, simple data analysis. For example, how about we use correlation? So we only use, for example, numeric data. So our numeric data, we will only select the numeric data, such as win percentage, opponent forget. Although this is numeric, all numeric, but I will just select specific columns for this one. Then if you want to see the correlation of data equals PD dot. For example, we need to concatenate this sample as numeric data, and we have also specific axis of 1, which means in terms of column. Okay, this one. So let's plot this one. PLT figure, which has a fig size, is equivalent of 6 by 4. Then we will use a mask. So I'll explain the mask. So we use try u. So np dot once like correlational data dot the function of correlation itself. And our axis, so we will use the SNS heat map for this one to reconstruct the correlation data dot core with a specific annotation. So is the annotation visible? Yes. What will be the format? So format it in 2 decimal floating point. Then we have also a mask is equivalent to mask. So we are plotting here the correlation on a triangle basis. So we're removing the upper part of the correlation because it is a duplicate. So for this, we have an error. Only series and data frame are valid. So numeric data, okay, win percentage, then as float. So we have correlation data. Oh, this one is not specifically string. So in terms of correlation, this one is correlation. So as you can see, the wins is highly correlated to the differential. So which is true. If, for example, Boston Celtics has a differential of positive 11.4, it means every game they are leading the opponent team by 11.4%. So this has a strong attribution to the wins. Then the opponents per game is negatively correlated. So if your opponent's per game is outscoring you, so you are losing. So this one is a sample of the correlation. So we can get it further. For example, we can describe the data. We can describe the data itself. So for example, we will use describe and we use numeric data. Then, for example, we will describe. So out of 30 teams, the mean percentage of winning is 500. The mean wins is 41. Opponents per points per game for the entire league. This is for the entire league. Okay. The maximum wins is 64. Yes, 64 wins by, of course, the Boston Celtics. So that's the description of the data. You have the interquartile range, the minimum win percentage, the mean. So only numeric data. So if we can drive this one further, so we can compare two teams. So this one is for the matchup. So for example, you want to compare two teams and you want to compare their performance. I don't know if you will bet, but you can use this. But disclaimer, I'm not teaching gambling. So for the matchup, so every matchup has an away and a home team. So for example, we will use the Wizards. For example, is an away team. For example, our team 2 is the home team. For example, this is the Celtics. So we will use SQL here in order to extract information. So these are team 1. So you can also use SQL statement inside of a Python notebook by using the SQLite import. Okay. So you create a connection is equivalent to SQLite 3 dot connect. So we will use a connection, but it's stored temporarily on memory. Then we have the df. We have the df. Okay. So let me see what is the contents of our df. So our df is this one. So this one is our data frame, the original content. So I will use this one. So df dot to SQL. I will name it as my table based from the connection, and I will not index this. So index equals to false. Then from here, we can create SQL query. If you're familiar with SQL, so let's say select all from my table, which is the instance of the data frame, my table where team like. So we will use a wildcard. So for example, let's start with team number 2 plus. We'll use a wildcard here. So this one is the percentage. Okay. So it means that from team 1 or team, so we have two. So team like percentage plus team 1 plus another percentage. So we're using a wildcard here. Then we have a limit of 2. So display only 2 teams. That will be the query. Then we need to execute this one. So the result, if you're familiar with PHP, so this is similar. Read SQL query based on the query and the specific connection. Then fetch me the result. So this will be the result. So if you have to compare the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards, since this is a wild card, I can also do this one even if it's not complete. So this is a wild card. So df.sql is already created. So if you see here, so the memory is already created. So I have to delete this one. It has to not create another instances of the my table in memory. Okay. So this one is the comparison of the Celtics and the Wizards. Okay. But I will use this one. Washington Wizards and the Boston Celtics. So this one. So the next one is we will assign who plays home and who plays the road game. So assign which team plays home or away. So using that, we use the location pd dot to create a series for that. The result for the team, so we can say that str team that contains. So we are searching for the string team 1, then we will rename the specific location. So team 1 str name. So if you want to see what is happening here, so I can show you the location. Okay, was never close. So this rename was never close. I think we have an error here. So this one is the location. So the first one is false. So the first one is true. So we will assign based from this one, the false and the true. So 0 is false. So the first one usually is the road road team, and the second one usually is the home team. So that will be our convention. For example, matchup is equivalent to pd dot concat. So for example, so we can say that we will concatenate the result of the SQL and our location with an axis of 1. Then we try to replace the true value, which is true, maybe from away, or maybe it's the opposite, and the false to home. Okay? If we are wrong, so we can just recalibrate and replace this specific value. So this is away. This is the variable here. So the Wizards will be away, and the home team, which is the Celtics, will be home. Okay, this is the matchup. So matchup. So let's see what's the result. Okay, so Boston is home while the Wizard is away. So we can place this one. So how about, let's see. So Celtics is home. So how about this is false? How about this is true? Okay, so the away, the home team is the Wizard. So let's check. No, the Wizard is the away. Okay, let's see. Let's replace this true, false. Maybe I'm confused. Boston is home. Yes, yes, Boston is home, but the wizard is away. I'm confused with the arrangement, but this is true. Okay, so Boston will be home. So in order to solve the confusion, so we can sort this one. So match up that sort values by location. So if you sort this by location, it will always be in ascending order. So this one is the match up. So let's sort this. Yeah, this is more likely. So away is the Washington Wizards. Yes. And the home team is the Bolton Celtics. So since we have data now, so we can do graphing now, which is the last part. We can graph this one. But first, I will define a bar chart function. So definition for bar chart will be this one. Because I will do subplotting here. I will create a 3 by 4 uh, 3 by 4 subplot with bar chart plots. So the x and y axis for the bar plot and the axis that will be used, the title of each graph, the row and column for each subplot, and the specific color mapping. So let's say we have black. Let's make this simple. And I already predefined this color for 3793, which is colored blue. So now bars is equivalent to axis, which is row and column. This will be the identifier for the subplot. Then bar chart, X and Y map to specific colors. So we have also axis based on row and column. So we need to use the bar chart. So X and Y, we have a specific color is equivalent to colors. Okay, another one, axis, row, column, then set title, the title of each graph. Then axis, we have row, column, dot grid. So we want to provide a grid. So on the graph. So the grid will be color red with an alpha of 0.25, which is transparency, and a line style of let's see, of dashed. So if we want, we can also add a specific data to a specific label, but I will do this when the graph is already finished. Okay, so we set up the figure and axis. Okay, so figure and axis equals plt dot subplots. I want to create a 3 by 4 subplot with fig size of 20 by 10 and a dots per inches is equivalent to 300. So the main title of the whole graph will be determined by the subtitle. And we will format this one. For example, team comparison. We have the team comparison for example, of team 1 versus team 2, which is the assigned team. And let's see, the font size is equivalent to 18. So we will create multiple graphs here. So we have 3 rows and 4 column subplots. So for example, in the interest of time, I will paste this code. So It means that I will graph the first bar chart with team on the x-axis and the wins in the y-axis. So this will be the directory of the first graph, which is 0, 0. This is row 1 and column 1. So in programming, it starts with 0. Then another one, the interest of time. So I will paste the row 2 and the row 3. Then we will use the plt dot type layout and the plt dot show. So if all else is in place, so we will have multiple bar charts based from this. So you can now see, so this one, team comparison Visa cells, okay? So maybe let's run it again. So if you want to study the matchup, again, I'm not promoting gambling because sports betting is very complicated. So again, I will have to separate this one. Okay. So this will be the matchup. So I have to delete this file first. Yeah. Or you can have a code that if it exists already, you don't need to create the table. But for this one, so this will be the comparison. So total wins, so around 64, then around, so if you are having trouble with this, so you can add this line of code. If you want to add labels to the specific graph, if you want to be precise, so you can do this one. So 4 bars in bars. So you compute the height of each bar, then you access each specific row. If it's index now of 0, 0, you get the x-axis and the bar width. If you divide it by 2, it's centered on the y-axis. And the height, if you divide it by 4, that will be the position of the text. So let's start again. Let's start and run all. Okay. So let's see what kind of graphs. So this again, it's already creating this one. So in memory. Okay. So maybe I can fix this one. So how about temporarily? Okay. So let's run this once again. It's creating in memory. So let's make it super temporary. Okay. So this one, the map is generating. So this one. So if you want to see the specific graphs, so we have 15, 64, 67. So if you are on sports betting, so I will bet here based from the statistics on the Boston Celtics. Okay. So the Washington Wizards here, if I were to interpret, is giving up 123 points each game in its opponent, while the Celtics is giving only 109, signifying the Boston Celtics is the better defensive team. Okay. So in terms of differential, so the Washington Wizards has a losing season. Each game they trail by 9.3 points. That's the interpretation. So in terms ng losing streak, so the ending of the season, Washington Wizard has a -6, which means they lost 6 straight, while the Celtics won 2 straight. to end the season. So that's it. So I hope you use data scraping, specifically web data scraping, responsibly for your intended purposes. Thank you very much.